Hey everyone, I'm Tassinix, and welcome to a Plotting and Scheming Extra. This is the kit review for Batcher, one of the new characters in the second Bad Batch faction. I am joined by my regular co-hosts, Dagger, TJ, Sasha Aisha, and Fatal. Gentlemen, how's it going today?
How long before we just call this a different series as opposed to just calling them extras if we're going to do every one of them?
What's going to make you happy? What's going to make you happy?
I want to know.
What can I do to make you proud of me, Dad?
Don't chase that, Ash. Don't chase that.
No, what can I do
I
to
just
make
wanna
you
know
proud of
when-
me, Dad? I just want him to have to confront for himself that
Right.
nothing
I
would
just
make
want to
him
know
happy.
when Dagger becomes Sweetness on here as he is in the back end.
All right, well, first of all, one of those things will never happen, but the sweetness thing might.
That's right,
Nevertheless.
baby.
All right. Well, let's we can debate how about the name for the next one? How's that? We can hash that out for
I'm
the next
giving you a
one.
hard time. We can actually just name this the Plotting and Scheming Extras.
Or give it Tassus PNS for character said.
Very good. Very
Is the PNS? Is this hard for the PNS? Is the PNS hard for this?
It's only if the
We're gonna
kid
have
is
to
long.
restart, are we?
No, because if the kid is long, then obviously we need a thorough PNS. But if it's not, then we can just do a short one.
Yeah, this is the short. These are the short PNS.
Yeah, for all of you in the audience who are wondering.
I'm letting you guys work it out of your system.
Yeah, we're
if-
restarting.
if
How do you
the
know we're
audience is
restarting?
wondering
Very good.
if
Very
these are
good.
very tightly rehearsed intros that we make sure we nail down before we record, the surprising answer is no. This is not. This is freeform.
Carefully choreographed. It's all according to script. The fix is in. All right, let's get into the kit here. Unit name, Batcher. Alignment, light side. Categories, Bat Batch. Key attributes. She can ability block and defense or offense down the entire enemy team. Ignores stealth and taunt during her turn, and her damage cannot be evaded. That's really nice. Strategy tips. Special 1 is a great way to control your enemy. Batcher is a debuff specialist. Use this to your advantage. Utilize your abilities with Captive for best results. Prioritize high speed to ensure Batcher acts frequently and gains the advantage of speed up from crushing assault. All right, let's take a look, starting with Unique. Is there more than one? Nope, just one. Okay, Unique LH-201 with a Zeta on it. Final text. Batcher's damage can't be evaded, and she ignores stealth and taunt during her turn. While another Bad Batch ally is inflicted with Captive, Batcher has plus 50% offense, plus 50 speed, and Piercing Howl's cooldown is reduced by 1. Batcher assists herself whenever she uses a special ability on her turn. So that was one of the things that we were talking about with the Omega video, is that you have this captive mechanic that she creates, and then it's the race is on. And, how are you going to win that race? And we can see here this, we might expect other effects like this in the rest of the team. Because, she is hitting a lot harder when the race is on. Sorry, you were saying?
Just to add, I remember very vividly when I read this the first time, I had this picture in my head of this little dog, or rhino, just bitch slapping people twice every turn and taking a turn, every other turn because of Omega's kit allowing people to just. This thing's gonna take so many goddamn turns. It's kind of absurd.
We'll have to remind ourselves about that cooldown reduction when we get to Piercing Howl. So let's get up to the basic. Crushing Assault. Final text. Deal physical damage to target enemy and gain speed up for 1 turn. During Batcher's turn, if the enemy was marked, inflict defense down and 2 stacks of off balance for 1 turn. Nice. And that's going to happen, whenever she's assisting herself. So she's going to be keeping speed up on herself all the time. It's only during Batcher's turn that you have this marked defense down, off balance. So, nice. Okay.
That's the million turns I was talking about, the speed up and the assisting herself.
It makes sense, and you really would want to put a blazer on her, wouldn't you? Okay. Special 1. Piercing Howl. Cooldown of 2 goes down to 1 when what condition is met? Yeah, while another Bad Batch ally is inflicted with Captain. So while the race is on, that's a cooldown of 2. Alright. Deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict pinned for 2 turns. And 2 stacks of bleed. This is the first non-TB application of bleed in the game?
First playable character with bleed, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Let's see. So 2 stacks of bleed, maximum of 6 until the end of the encounter, which can't be dispelled. Bleed is defined as minus 5% speed and tenacity, and lose 5% health each turn. Remove 1 stack when any health is recovered. So whenever there's a health gain of no matter what size, that will heal you 1 stack.
It's not like Plague where if you heal to max, it goes away.
Sorry, you're saying it's not like Plague.
So with Plague, if you heal, all your Plague goes away.
Yes.
You heal all the way up to max. This doesn't. Even if you heal all the way to max, you only lose 1 stack of bleed. I'm saying like this functions a little bit differently than Plague.
Right, it's per instance. So yeah, right, exactly. So like if you had a heal over time stack on you for whatever reason, if you had like 5 stacks of heal over time on you at the start of your turn, that would be like the best thing. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, while in territory wars, so we don't usually cover that, but inflict additional stack of bleed until the end of the encounter, which can't be dispelled. If another Bad Batch ally is inflicted with captive, the cooldown of this ability is refreshed. Yeah, oh my god!
Yeah, absolutely slap this bitch on immediately.
Yeah, if you're any type of TW competitive, you can reasonably expect that this is going to be a slapping team, and this will be a part of it. Holy moly. Yeah, so she's just a I take turns chain gun with damage you can't avoid. And woe unto they who force us to inflict captive on one of our allies.
Also, just to be clear, this kit is just silly.
Well, share your thoughts, guys. We've already kind of ripped through the kit. We've got the whole thing here.
Yeah, I'll just say this and I'll let everybody else go because I've kind of monopolized the rest of the time. But yeah, this kit is like super nasty. And I think that this has like applications on a lot of places, not just Bad Batch. Maybe not a lot, but some. Like bleed is like a really nasty mechanic, and she's gonna take a ton of turns.
That she is. How about the resties? Any thoughts to throw in on top?
There's some weird stuff happening with the character that I'm a little bit worried about, where like the character might actually be better if you leave them unupgraded, but we're really just kind of at a wait and see moment for the rest of the new factions design, because we have this whole weird shit with the combo lead, right? The whole like choose how you sequence everything. Because the way that things work right now, when you read Omega's lead, it sounds like it looks at the last turn, but it doesn't. It looks at the last damage. So, for example, if you leave the unique at level 4 so that she doesn't assist herself, like let's say that you have some sort of combo route in mind where one of the other batch might have an AoE, and then you're like, okay, well, this other character has an AoE, but Batcher's about to go here instead, you could howl and skip your turn and keep that AoE mark and flow the combo out in some unique lines that for right now we only have 2 kits. If she always assists herself, that means that this character will have some like serious implications for like you will at some point inevitably have the thought of, oh fuck, it's a Batcher turn, I have to like do X or Y. That like this could not matter the moment we see the next kit and we see someone else who's like assist every turn or something, then it's like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, just slap that shit on. But like it gets so weird and murky when we talk about like Amplify Agony of like, you know, OG Echo's unique doesn't count because it's loss, not damage. But if you slap on Amp Ag, suddenly this is an AoE character that can also combo out on AoEs. It's in the weed shit, but keep it in mind if you've played with Fugitive Omega Lead at all, because what each button does is like crazy important under CG's design so far.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you'll have comment on it when we get to the third kit, whenever they put that out. So we'll see how this progresses, but we'll put a pin in that. That's good. That's good. We'll remember that one. TJ,
This is a lot of fun.
yeah, go ahead.
My big thing is like you can start to see, and I know Phil's talking about it, and he's probably right, and I hope that's not the case, but you get to immediately start seeing it in just the initial thing, right? Going through the 7 days or whatever it's going to be, you can already start seeing how the team is going to work just with the interaction of Batcher. Being able to go Batcher, if you set up the turn on the right, Batcher, and then Omega can pass the thing right back to Batcher, and he's going to do it. I was taking, I don't know how many turns. So the loop, the loopish style mechanics feel very effective there, and it's already like kind of prevalent. So I really like getting to try this out and see what it's going to do for you.
All right.
Quick question. Fatal, I know you've taken a closer look at this. I'm not particularly familiar with the kit at all, other than I've just read it right now. But the simplicity of the kit, in general, like my initial reaction would be that can be favorable to almost make it sort of AI stupidity proof, but enabling it to be like perhaps like viable on defense. But I know Omega had a particularly like complicated kit, or one that seemed vulnerable to AI mistakes. When you look at the combo of these two, and obvious speculation, kind of pending what else drops out, but do you see an opportunity for defensive 3v3 viability?
I came very close to trying to publish a puzzle box for the start of the season. I don't think it can be done at the moment via plug and play, but I'm watching like a hawk on the rest of the Bad Batch releases now, because the thing that I realized, and I was already high on this clause, but I had to like reread it and be like, oh fuck me, that's even dumber. The bonus turn whenever an ally falls below 100% health, and that's like not first time, that's every single time.
Yeah.
That is not another Bad Batch ally. That is another ally.
Oh,
Yeah.
And so you start asking yourself, huh, well, who can you plug and play?
Saw.
Oh, wait, it has to be all Bad Batch allies in the Omicron. Fuck, I just... Okay.
Otherwise, Saw could be really silly because he hurts you a little bit at the beginning of every turn.
Yeah, you talk about like Saw Gerrera, you talk about like Captain Rex heals clones and the Bad Batch reflexing clones. But don't worry about it, because the
Darth
Omicron
Nihilus
all
lead
Bad Batch.
opportunity? No.
It turns out CG might have known what they were doing. Damn it.
Yeah, fucking right. Well, that dream is dead. But what that still is true and means is, as we get the rest of the Bad Batch kits, also watch like a hawk for, like, ask yourself, does this character have a heal source that can play into the Omicron? Does this character have something insane like a fucking instant defeat on Crosshair that would benefit from machine gun turns to just like, really put pressure out? And then, yeah, the biggest question that I have right now in terms of AI stupidity is how many characters have AoEs? Because when we got Fugitive Omega, CG said, we're designing this squad so that you have to be really careful about when you use your AoEs, and I think that's going to be the biggest question for defense. Is, there's a world where this team is just like 95% single target, and then honestly, AI stupidity will do decently on just like, they're just going to ram their, like, think of a JMK squad, right? Usually they're just going to ram their face on one person, and so that game plan would still be respected. But yeah, that's why I think that more than any recent team, like when we were getting the mercenary kits or whatever, it was like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. This time it's like, oh god, it's game day. Like, all right, but like I'm trying to like read the tea leaves here of like how crazy is CG intending this team to be, and with Batcher, it's like, okay, so we got like kind of like bleed plus heal block shenanigans, but bleed doesn't stop dispel like plague does. It's kind of cute. But I'm looking for like, okay, but are they gonna fuck up anywhere?
So are we talking like, is bleed? Bleed is a debuff. It can't be dispelled, but doesn't. I'm not reading anything that says that it can't be resisted. So
Yeah.
like as a final note, like I know some people in the YouTube comments were asking if we could throw in just an initial thought on the mod set. We don't have to go in great detail, but speed potency cross,
Probably a cross. I don't feel like this is going to be a high damage unit. Again, I haven't seen the stats. I know I said this in like when.
Yeah, and folks know that. Folks know it's early days, but they're curious what we think.
Yeah, I would definitely say speed set with a potency cross, maybe a potency small set. That'd just be my guess.
For whatever it's worth, the character's base potency is extremely high, if I remember. Is that actually true? I'm pulling it up.
Yeah, 136.
I'm seeing
136 potency is like, don't really have to think about it that
Okay,
like
well,
maybe you
yeah.
splash across just to box out characters like
Yeah,
okay,
or
you're at
just
180
secondaries might
tenacity.
be enough. You could just trivially get up to 150%.
Yeah, I mean, so like, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, depending on how critical landing the bleeds are on the rest of the team.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go and walk through two scenarios really quick. Number one, a couple of the other people interact with bleed, which means that you want to land the bleed. If that's the case, you want to shoot for something like 180 to 200%. That's like a small set in the cross. If no one else really interacts with bleed, I think, like Fatal said, I don't think you have to worry too much about it if no one else interacts with bleed, just because you're high enough to get past most characters that you're not trying to get debuffs on. We also have to see if somebody's unique actually gives potency. So, you know. I would say blind speed set potency cross, but
Yeah,
it really
potency
depends on what
cross.
the team does.
Thoughts on triangle?
None. Well,
No.
crit chance. Find a fast crit chance triangle you're not using somewhere. I don't know.
Okay. All right. Yeah, circle, I'm not sure yet. It's too soon to say, guys, you know? It all depends. So, all right.
The thing I will say is with bulk versus damage, you pretty much have license to go either way. That like, okay, my team is crit immune, I can go some damage and like try to cheat out still being bulky with it, or okay, my team is crit immune, I can go bulk and be a real piece of shit.
Fair. Yeah, we'll see which way it pans out.
It really depends on what the rest of the team looks like. Like I said, if anybody else interacts with bleed, or if there's a stacking offense mechanic, like Fatal said, if somebody has like stacking offense, you're like, all right, cool, let's just make this team live as long as possible. Eventually, it's like sheer, right? Eventually, your opponents will die.
All right. Well, thank you guys for your commentary, and of course, thank all of you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, hit subscribe to see more from the channel, and until next time, it's been real, it's been awesome, it's been real awesome. Take care.